important. So right now, I want to introduce you guys to a few of these leaders, a few of these inspired individuals who are using data, who are using the tools, who are doing things the right way. And it is my honor and privilege to call up Conductor's own Isaac Newton, Conductor's own head of marketing, Seth Dotter, to talk about some of these stories. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome to be here. So Seth was talking about what makes marketers great. What are the things they're doing? What are the tactics they're trying? What are the buildings they're shaking that makes marketers really, really good? And then C3 is all about finding the concrete examples of what's working and sharing them with you. So to start off, I want to talk a little, oops, sorry about that. To start off, I want to talk about NetSuite. Now NetSuite, everyone familiar with NetSuite? If not, there's a great session later on that I want everyone to go through. But NetSuite is a company, the world's #1 cloud ERP company. Their 2,600 employees help around 20,000 companies worldwide with logistical software, ERP software. They're an amazing company. And they're doing something new in how they think about marketing. But rather than me talk about it, I'll let them share what they're doing right now.
I'm Jim McGeever. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of NetSuite. I'm responsible for all sales, services, and support. So NetSuite's the premier ERP suite available in the cloud. Serve a wide range of customers, anything from the smallest customers to the largest companies on the planet. And our goal is to be the largest ERP suite in the world. So one of the challenges with NetSuite is we do so many things for so many different people and so many different industries that the buyers are always different. So frequently it's the CFO, sometimes it's the IT group, sometimes it's the CIO, sometimes the head of professional services. All of them, different needs, different requirements, different focus, a different conversation that you need to have with them to address what they're looking for.
We moved to a buyer persona-based approach pretty recently, actually, and the reason we did that is we wanted to have alignment, across the team as we write material for our marketing promotions, as well as our campaigns and any content that we're developing across sales and marketing that are all aligned around the buyer needs and really putting them at the core of our messaging.
The first major change in NetSuite's business was when we stopped trying to find customers and they found us.
We've been very fortunate to be able to leverage Searchlight for the last 5 years or so, and we have a large number of words that we optimize for. We've made a conscious effort in the last few years to create some of those thought leadership articles that are non-gated, that can help drive that natural search, and we've really seen a big uplift in some of our core pages. So creating content, really you do need to have that buyer persona in mind, because one size does not fit all. The kind of information that a CFO might want to be aware of is very different from the checklist that a IT director, for instance, might be going through.
You have to look at this all holistically, and you have to then look at how they enter the funnel, what stage they are in the funnel, and then how would you treat them once they're in that funnel. Because the one thing I can almost guarantee you is you treat everyone the same, you won't like the result.
Thank you, NetSuite. That's awesome. Let's give them a hand. So there are a couple of core pieces that NetSuite's doing really well. And like I mentioned before, they have a session, so check them out a little bit later on today, and you can pick their brain. But there are a couple key things that I want to pull out. The first is that they're engaging early. It's not enough as marketers anymore to wait till someone's ready to buy our product. And NetSuite is going out there and saying, we want to get there first. By the time the decision's made on what a person's buying, it's too late. They've already made up their mind, they've already decided what they're going to go through, and they've had all of those pieces put in place already. So we need to engage early. The second thing they're doing is they're picking your personas. They're going after different people. You wouldn't sell all your customers exactly the same product. Why would you go about treating them all the same way with content? And they're going after personas. Now, lots of people think personas are a B2B thing. But personas can be used all the way in many different industries, whether you're a publisher, whether you're a consumer packaged good company, whether you're an online retailer, you can use personas, and we'll show you that in just a second. The last thing that NetSuite's doing is having a conversation with their customers. They're not talking at them by just sharing their information or sharing their product slicks in front of them. They're actually providing information that's useful to those. So I mentioned that there's other kinds of companies. One of those is Brooks Brothers. How many people are familiar with Brooks Brothers? All right, I would hope so. I'm a little embarrassed that I'm not wearing the right suit today. But Brooks Brothers is America's oldest men's clothier. They were founded 196 years ago, and they've embraced this concept of sharing information with their customers. When they were founded, it was all about going into a store because you knew you wanted a 3-button suit or you knew exactly what you wanted, but times have changed. And they've had to adapt to how they think about engaging with their customers and not pick them up at the end, but think about them earlier. So I'd like to let them, again, tell their story in their words.
Most customers find Brooks Brothers nowadays actually through, I would say, a healthy mix of channels. Nowadays, with the development of early stage content, editorial content, it's allowing us to speak to the consumer at all different parts of the consumer journey, which is very critical for us. With the content we're creating on our site now to go along with our wonderful product, along with all the other avenues of marketing that we do and the conversations that we engage in with our consumers via social media, I think we're really covering all the bases today. Educating the consumer on how to take care of your clothes, or say how to tie a tie or a bow tie, or how to, different types of scarf knots or wraps. These are things that people on a daily basis go online to look for themselves. So if we're creating content, people will trust us before they know who we are as a brand. They're going to be more apt to come to us to buy their clothing going forward than, say, someone who they used to buy from, but they don't get the advice or the education from. The Searchlight's been huge in allowing us to identify content gaps, giving us the visibility into who our competitors are for keywords and categories, has really allowed us to identify where we're lacking in content, and we're able to fill that gap, and we've shown a lot of success.
So Brooks Brothers is doing the same thing. There are a couple key takeaways that they're engaging with. The first one is that knowledge is worth sharing. How many people know how to tie a bow tie? 1, 2, you guys are awesome. I'm gonna come pick your brain a little bit later on. Me, no chance. Every single time, if it doesn't have the clip on it, I'm completely done. But that knowledge is worth sharing online. That when you do that, people can actually engage with it. So let's figure out, just quickly, how we could do this. C3 is about practical take-homes. So we're going to go through an example together on how you as marketers can think about doing the same things that these great marketers are doing when you go back to your organizations. Let's imagine for a second we're Bed Bath & Beyond. Everyone knows Bed Bath & Beyond, right? How many people bought something from Bed Bath & Beyond? They sell a lot of different things, right? There's coffee machines, there's glasses, there's ottomans, there's toothpaste. They have thousands of different things in their store. As a matter of fact, if you go to their warehouse and the number of things they sell online, it's tens of thousands of things. And there's an online marketing manager who's responsible for each one of these categories. I have to find a way to sell more of these things. And how does Bed Bath & Beyond do it? Primarily these things. I swear I get 36 and a half of these every single day. We have stacks of them. My kids make card deck castles out of them. So Bed Bath & Beyond's primary method of going after those customers is to send them a 20% off coupon. Wait until somebody's ready to buy, then tell them they can buy it cheaper. Now, I hope Bed Bath & Beyond isn't in the audience while I'm picking on you a little bit. But that just doesn't work. We call that crowding the register. You wait until someone's already made up their mind exactly what they want to do, and then you try and sell it to them cheaper. It's too late at that point. They've already got all their things in mind. I have one of these. Does anyone else have one of these? It's a grill thermometer, and it is the coolest thing ever. And your definition of cool may vary, I understand that. But you take it, you stick it in your steak, you put it on your grill. It's wireless, so you clip it on your belt, and you walk around. You type in, I want to do a steak, medium rare, and it goes, your steak will be done in 5 minutes. It's so very cool. It says, your steak is done. All the hit at all the parties. You can tell I don't get out a lot. Bed Bath & Beyond has this on their website. They have a product page. They sell that product, all right? And they call it a programmable remote digital meat cooking thermometer. I mean, that's what it is, right? So what do you think comes up when you search for that? Well, not surprisingly, we get a lot of stuff. We got a lot of product listing ads. We got a lot of paid search ads in here. The couple, organic stuff, right? There's a lot of people trying to get there for, hold on a second, programmable remote digital meat cooking thermometer. But there are a couple problems with this. One, it's intensely competitive. When you're going after this, everyone else in the world is selling it too. And you basically have the option to go after price, maybe shipping, if you're really lucky, reviews of how your service works. It's rough. 2, price is the only differentiator, right? That's all you got. 3, who the hell searches for programmable remote digital meat cooking thermometer? No one has ever searched for that in their life, right? But what if we could do this a different way? What if you could get there first, and instead of, I don't remember what the hell it is, you could change to how to cook the perfect steak. That changes the game completely, right? Now when I search for that, let's see who shows up here. Mark's Daily Apple, BuzzFeed, bbqgoodfood.com. Now, no offense to any of those people if you're here today, but Bed Bath & Beyond should be kicking your ass. There's no reason. There's no direct competition. Huge opportunity for differentiation. Imagine that Bed Bath & Beyond showed up here and said, you want to cook the perfect steak? Well, cooking the perfect steak is a matter of time and temperature, and we sell timers and thermometers, and we sell this really cool meat thermometer that you can clip on your belt and look like the cool guy at your next grill party. Vastly larger audience. All of us in this room have thought about how do we cook something and figuring it out, because we're not crowding that register. So how do we get there? We have to think about the buyer's journey that they go through. When I was thinking about buying this product, it was, number 1, I'm thinking about having a party. 4th of July, I'm excited. Number 2, I'm worried about all my guests are going to show up and my notoriously bad steaks are going to ruin the party. So I go online, I think about solutions for grilling. And number 3, I find that meat thermometer. But we're not just focusing on the end. We're not just focusing on the decision tree. So how do we do this? Right? How do we actually figure out how to get upstream? You have to think about who you're selling to. What is the interests of them? Bed Bath & Beyond sells to a lot of different people, right? They sell to the chef Christine, who checks online for recipes. She thinks about all of the ways that she can help create great food for her neighbors, her family. Gary Gadget, he likes anything with Bluetooth or wireless or a button that goes bing on it. He wants to find anything they have, very different interests. And student Stacy, she's been accepted to Haverford in the fall and is thinking about how is she going to decorate her dorm room with a 10 by 20 area with another person and look cool when she starts her school year. Very different interests. So if we can target those interests earlier on, maybe we can actually find a way to engage with them before they crowd the register. So we think about that in content mapping. And this is the practical nature to do what NetSuite, right? What Brooks Brothers is doing. Is if we think about content mapping, we can say, let's map our personas on the x-axis. I want to know what Chef Christine, Gadget Gary, and Student Stacy are doing. And let's map the buyer's journeys along, that's the y-axis, and the x-axis. Apologies for all that. Right? And we can say, I need content to engage with Christine early. I want to think about those recipes, and I want a product listing that makes sure we have all the products so that when Stacy's going back to school, she's set up. Now I'm thrilled to announce that we don't just want to tell you how great companies are doing this, we want to make it a little bit easier for you as well. So I'm pleased to announce and ask to join the stage Vishal Berry, who's our Director of Product Strategy, to help show a new feature in Searchlight that we've built to make this possible for you. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Seth.
You bet.
Happy to introduce Searchlight Content Mapping, the next generation of Conductor's content-level reporting. For the first time, we can model our content by persona and buyer's journey stages and back this up with comprehensive visibility and performance-level reporting. Let's take a closer look at the example content map that we've got set up for Bed Bath & Beyond. As Seth just mentioned, we've got 3 personas modeled here: Chef Christine, Gadget Gary, and Student Stacy. And we've modeled out a 3-stage buyer's journey with awareness, consideration, and decision stages.
Now, this is really key because we all get the importance of this, and lots of people have talked about building content. But we often go and we build a content calendar, we create some great content, and then just like Field of Dreams and the if we build it, they will come, we launch it, and that's it. So with this feature, we're able to see not only where there are gaps, like Student Stacy doesn't have any early stage stuff, but also how that's performing. Right, Vishal?
Actually, Seth, not only can we identify the gaps, what we do is we integrate with our task manager as well. So this is a good example for us to create a task for our content team to investigate this gap for Student Stacy at the awareness stage. So we can create a task directly from the content map for our content team to evaluate this in more detail. And you're right, Seth, it's not just about visibility reporting, it's about performance reporting as well.
So here's the real rub that I want to share with you. It's all good and well to do this maybe and plan out. But for years, marketers have been trying to crack the problem of how do I know if early stage content is worth it? How do I know and actually put a value on that? Not just on did piece A do better than piece B, or what tactics am I using, but actually be able to say, how do those contribute to my actual revenue? It's very rare that you'll have an online session that starts with an early stage piece of content and then ends up in an actual purchase, especially if you have a big ticket, you're a B2B company, or you have a big ticket that's actually on consumer. They're not going to get there all the way through. So we have to figure out a way to actually put a value on those. Can you show us what we do, Vishal?
Absolutely, Seth. So in addition to our visibility reporting, Searchlight Content Maps also provide really robust performance level reporting. Now, what's really powerful about this is the ability to customize the analytics metric that we're looking at for each individual stage of the buyer's journey.
It's awesome. So say you want to think about building out this a little bit more. And early stage visits, you're like, hey, I'm going to get them to my website. But down the consideration stage, perhaps you want to say, how many people of those were I able to convert? How many people actually looked at a product page or a buyer's journey? I can change a goal to actually represent that. And then finally, how many of those actually added to cart or I got revenue from them? I can change that as well. And now I've got a comprehensive look, and I can model, if I put stuff in the top of the funnel, how much is it worth by the time it gets down to the bottom of the funnel. And now instead of me just saying, I know how important early stage content is, I can share with the rest of my organization where we have gaps, what we're going to do about them, and the actual performance of the content that we've created and launched.
This is great, Seth. So we've shown a simple example here, but this can be fully customized.
Absolutely. So say you want to have a more complex journey. You want to actually model all the way from an early stage to viewing a buyer's guide, to looking at a product page, to adding to cart, to actual checkout. You can do 5 different stages if you want to. You can completely customize that on your own. If you're interested in, hey, personas just aren't for me, and I'd like to model these by products instead of personas, you can put those in Searchlight as well and model your entire segment that way.
We're really excited about Searchlight Content Mapping. We've got visibility reporting to identify gaps in our content strategy, and comprehensive performance reporting that's driven by the traffic, performance data that we get through our analytics integrations. Now, what's really, really cool about this is Searchlight Content Maps are fully interactive. I can select any of the individual buyer's journey stages and see the content segments that we have mapped to that individual stage. Not only do we get visibility into individual stages, By selecting any of the individual intersections, Searchlight is calculating the content that we have targeted for that particular persona at that stage of the buyer's journey and shows us that actual content.
That's awesome, Vishal. I sure would love to know exactly which one of these pieces of content is doing well or not doing well.
Absolutely, Seth. So as we love to do in Searchlight, we allow you to dive one level deeper in. From here, we're led to a core interface of content insights, page insights. So here, for a single piece of content, we get trend analysis from a traffic and performance perspective, and we also join in rank visibility data to see if any rank fluctuations may be impacting traffic to this piece of content.
It's awesome stuff. We're really, really excited about this. We think it's going to fundamentally change the way you interact with your organizations. If you can show the value of your early stage content, if you can show the value not just in hypotheticals, but in dollars and cents, we believe that it will enable you to completely change the way you talk to the other people in your organization and the way you perform in your own jobs as well. So can you give us a quick summary, Vishal?
Absolutely, Seth. Searchlight content mapping. This is the next generation of our content level reporting in Searchlight. For the first time, we're able to model our content by personas and buyer's journey dimensions. This is extremely exciting for us. All of this sits on top of the core reporting within Content Insights. Part of Content Insights is the ability to group together your content. Today, we're introducing enhancements to our rule-based methods of grouping together your content, what we call smart segments. In addition to smart segments, we're introducing Searchlight custom segments. And this is the ability to group together your pages or your content that may not match any simple rule-based patterns. This is extremely powerful. This is an elegantly simple interface that just allows you to input your pages and create a bespoke custom segment directly inside of Searchlight. And all of this, Searchlight content mapping, Content Insights, is driven by integrating Searchlight with your web analytics platform. We currently support all of the major analytics vendors, and we're continuing to enhance our content level reporting in Searchlight. To learn more about Content Insights and Searchlight content mapping, please join us at the breakout session tomorrow afternoon, which is led by the lead product manager for Content Insights, Dongwen Chen, and myself. To get a closer look at our interfaces, talk about how content maps are actually a second-order grouping of your content, please join us in the Innovation Lab. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Vishal. That's great. Yeah. So next up, we're going to have another sort of insight into how some more marketers are doing things a little bit differently, how they're attacking the problems like Seth talked about before. So to do that, I'd like you to help me welcome and join to the stage our VP of Product, VP of Product Management, Baruch Toledano.